Hi everyone, it's Pam Weatherford with D3 Seminars, and today I'm going to show you how to make my recipe for very versatile vegetable soup. I've been waiting for it to get cold outside, and it finally got cold here in Fort Worth. Now the problem with that is it not only got cold outside, but our heater broke, and so it's really cold in our house, and I need something that's going to warm me up from the outside in. So this soup is the perfect solution. Now the reason I love my very versatile vegetable soup is certainly not because it's easy to say, but it's really easy to make. You can make this soup in 10 minutes or less. You can make this soup with 3 or 4 ingredients, which I'm going to do today. And these are ingredients that are really easy to keep on hand. So when you come home from work and you don't know what you're going to make, you can open the pantry, open the freezer, and have a soup in 10 minutes. How does that sound? The reason I call it the very versatile vegetable soup is because it is so versatile. You can use just about any type of vegetable in this soup. So without further delay, let's get started. I'm going to turn my burner on here to about medium to medium high, and I'm going to start with vegetable broth. Now I'm using Pacific vegetable broth. It's organic, it's pure, it's low sodium, and if you read the ingredient label, it's just full of all great types of vegetables. There's no junk in there. So that's my brand of choice. And the thing with this soup, too, is you really don't have to measure. You can make soup for 1 or 100. So let me fill my pan here with my vegetable broth. That should be enough for me. And I'm going to just let this boil. And so I'll be back with you in a minute. When the broth gets boiling, we'll go on to step number 2. Okay, my broth is starting to boil, so now I'm going to pour in my vegetables. Now, as I mentioned, this soup is so versatile, you can use any vegetables you like. To make it really simple, and again, so you can have things on hand whenever you need it, I'm just using a bag of frozen mixed vegetables from the grocery store. This particular bag has peas, corn, green beans, and carrots. 4 wonderful vegetables right in your freezer. So I'm going to throw those in and stir it up. You could add potatoes or mushrooms or turnips or spinach, or literally, if we put together all the combinations you could make with this soup, it would probably be in the millions. So I'm going to stir my vegetables in there. I will let them cook for probably about 5 to 10 minutes. I'll keep checking it to make sure that they get nice and soft and tender. And we're going to add a couple more ingredients, and this soup will be finished. So I'll see you back here in just a minute. Okay, look at this. My soup is boiling away. My vegetables are just about cooked. So now I want to add some seasoning. Now you can add any kind of seasoning you like. What I'm going to choose today is Italian seasoning. Again, you don't really have to measure. Just put some in your palm. This is probably about a teaspoon. Whenever I'm using dried spices, I like to crunch them between my palms just to get the flavors out there again. And I'll stir that in and let that cook for just a minute so everything melts together. And really at this point, if you like a brothy soup, you're done. That's all there is to the very versatile vegetable soup. But if you're like me, I kind of like a thicker, creamier soup. Now, if you are watching the Food Network, and no offense to the Food Network, I love watching their shows, but they're not exactly interested in keeping you healthy. They would tell you at this point to add heavy cream to make a creamy soup. And Paula Deen would tell you to throw in a ½ pound of butter or so to make it great. What I'm going to show you is a couple of different ways to make a cheesy, thick soup without using cheese, without using butter, without using heavy cream. The secret ingredient is called nutritional yeast. Now this is a product that you might not be familiar with, but you can find it in the bulk section at any health food store. Even if it's foreign to you, it won't be to them. So just ask somebody. It's kind of a yellow, powdery substance, and it's really high in protein. It's really high in B vitamins, and so it's a great thing to add to your soup. It gives it kind of a cheesy taste, and so you can get that texture and that taste without adding any fat. Again, you don't have to measure, just stir it in, and you'll see how thick the soup gets, and you can add more if you need to. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more here. And you just need to cook it in for a minute or 2. This is so good. I can't wait to taste this. Alright, so after that's stirred in and dissolved, now you've got a cheesy, very versatile vegetable soup. If you want to take it another step further and get it even more creamy and more thick, you can do two things. Take part of it, a couple ladlefuls, and put it in a blender, blend it up, and pour it back in the soup. That will thicken it like crazy. And if you want a completely smooth soup, just put all of it in the blender and then put it back in your pan and warm it up again. Again, there's no reason to have to use butter and heavy cream and all of those really fattening, unhealthy ingredients to get a thick, hearty, warm soup. Cheers to you. Thanks for watching. And if you have any suggestions or comments, be sure and email me at pam@d3seminars.com. And I look forward to seeing you next time with a new recipe. Now, the reason I call it a very versatile cook when you come home after work and you don't know what you're going to make and you've got a few ingredients on hand. The other thing I love about it is that it is so, I don't know what else I love about it. Now, if you were watching the Food Network,